What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Work Knife Balance. We're going to be diving into a Vosteed that we got on a mail call just the other day. But before we get too far into that, I want to go ahead and say thank you to anybody who's already liked and subscribed to the channel. If you haven't, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. You can also head over to Instagram and like us at Work Knife Balance 939. That is a great way to communicate with us. Let us know what you like, what you don't, and you can send us a knife for review. And when we're done with it, we'll send it back with a sticker and some swag. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this Vosteed Thornton, which is another community designed knife, which I think is awesome. So this is the Vosteed Thornton. This was designed by Wayne Walter, I believe, from Wayne's Sharp World, another YouTuber. If you haven't seen Wayne's, which I don't know why, if you're seeing my channel, you've probably definitely seen Wayne's channel, but another YouTuber with some great content. Head over there if you like it. Feel free to give Wayne a follow. So yeah, we're going to do some overall measurements, tip to tail, blade length, stuff like that, and then we'll do side-by-side comparisons, and I'll give you my pros and cons to this knife. I really do like it, and then there's some things about it that are just kind of like my quirks. So yeah, I'll get started. Overall tip to tail measurements, we are looking at about 7.5 with a blade length of about 3.15, cutting edge right the same at 3.15. So for some comparisons, I wanted to get some similar knives out. So we've got the QSP Mini Penguin, we've got the Civivi Chevalier. So the Chevalier is a little bit bigger, the Penguin's a little bit smaller. Kind of shows you similar styles there as well. So if you like either of those, you're probably really going to like this one. And then let's see, we've got the Vision, the Civivi Vision, not the Wii Vision. So I believe that's the FG Vision with the micarta right there. And then we'll go ahead and do a Civivi button lock as well. Kind of showing you some good size comparisons, what's going on there and everything. And then let's see, what else do we got? We've got a Kunwu compact towel that was in the pocket today. And then last we'll do one more with the Miguron Pagos budget right here as well. So sweet. Gives you a decent run of knives. If you've got one of those, gives you a good idea of what you're dealing with there. So yeah, first off, I will say good ergos, good feel on the knife and everything. I've had this for a day or two now, and I've been able to mess around with it, flip with it and stuff. I didn't do any cutting with it. I just didn't have any cutting to do presently, so I haven't really kind of like ripped through cardboard or anything like that. I did a slice of paper, but I mean, if a knife doesn't come sharp to cut paper, you're not making a good knife in today's day and world, because everyone sends out a decently sharp knife. So that wasn't much of a cut test by any means. I will say the ergos on it feel good. I really like the micarta. It's kind of got a soft feel to it. I believe it's got a little contouring to it. At least it feels that way. You've got some chamfered edges slightly on the bottom side right here. The top doesn't really have a chamfered, but it is rounded over the edge right here, so you can feel that kind of rounding to it. And the chamfered is more so right around this like index spot for your finger, and then kind of tapers down and then just is rounded as it comes through here. Really kind of traditional, I would say, style to the handle. It's got kind of a flat back with a bit of a curve here. Nothing crazy, a just really good design, kind of a classic design for a folding knife, a modern folding knife, which is really good there. The blade is where I am a little bit more excited. I really like this sheep's foot. You've got a deep swedge coming through here that comes down, comes right over this curled edge, and then anchors itself over with a little belly coming through. You've got a nice hollow grind coming down through here and some really good jimping on that backside. So I was really impressed with that. I've had a couple other Vosteeds that the jimping has like stopped right here, and it doesn't make sense to me why you stop it before you even come up. So you could still do a little bit more, but I'm not disappointed with it because it feels good. The button lock is where I have something a little bit to desire, and this is probably just personal preference on button locks. Haven't been the biggest fan of button locks recently. I didn't understand the hate on button locks originally and really loved them, and then now I've started getting more and more button locks that are just they leave something to be wanted. And so this falls in that category of leaving something to be wanted for the button lock as well. The thumb studs are nice. They don't stick up too high against the scales by any means, so they kind of hide right in there. You can't really see them peeking out over the edge, which is nice. They're not too big or anything. They're not ripping anything up. You get a nice, real easy purchase on the reverse flick and the thumb flick on that. And then you have a nice front flip here. With the front flip, the way that it's designed, and I faced this with one of the previous knives that I designed as well, coming out, you end up hitting your finger if you hold it weird. So I've had to train myself to kind of curl my finger around the edge. Otherwise, if I'm normally doing it, it's gonna hit right there as it comes through, because this back flipper is just a little bit larger on that back side. Not much you can do about it. Every knife has quirks, and that's one for this that I found. But I will say overall, this is a fantastic knife for the purchase. This comes in at $79, 14C 28N steel. We can see that on the back side right here. And it is got the micarta. There's also a G10 version, and I believe the G10 version is the only version that's still available. You've got a deep carry pocket clip. It's just a steel pocket clip, but it's recessed in here, and it has the recessed screws too, so there's no little mushroom heads sticking up or pointing out or anything there. I don't love the acoustics. I really love to be able to have a knife and kind of hear a little bit of that twang. Even with button locks, to be able to have kind of that metal sound. I think because it's the micarta, it just softens everything and you lose some of those acoustics. You face it similarly, not as much because you kind of hear the twang on this, but you face it similarly with this that's all micarta as well too. So yeah, that would be one thing. I think the G10 is probably a little different because it's not as soft of a material, but it definitely, the acoustics probably wouldn't be absorbed as much and you'd get a little bit more there on that end. Other than that though, fantastic. 14C28 micarta, really good design, really nice sheep's foot. Well done weighing on this knife. I really like it. For 80 bucks, you can't really go wrong on it. If you're looking for a really good kind of plunge lock, button lock, I believe they call it a Trek lock, Vosteed does, and knife with that sheep's foot, this is a really good option at 80 bucks. So not much else to say about it. I will go ahead and put a link below. I'm going to put a link to Vosteed because it's the only place I was able to really find them still in stock, and it's only the G10, so they may be gone by the time you follow the link, but go ahead and pick one up for yourself. Any of the Amazon links support our channel, and we greatly appreciate the support. Until next time, TTFN.